Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to tackle a topic that can feel a little complicated, but it's so important for so many families. We're talking about guaranteed issue burial insurance. Let's demystify it together. So, let me start with a question that might sound pretty familiar. Have you, or maybe a parent or grandparent, gone through the whole process of applying for life insurance only to get that letter saying you've been declined? It's really disheartening, I know. But, and this is the important part, that's not always the end of the road. Even after denial, there is often still a way to put something in place to cover those final expenses. And that's exactly the solution we're going to unpack right now. Okay, first things first, we need to get really clear on what this guaranteed option actually is, and maybe even more importantly, what it isn't. So what are we talking about here? At its heart, guaranteed issue burial insurance is a pretty straightforward life insurance policy. It's permanent, meaning it doesn't expire. It's usually for a smaller amount designed specifically for things like funeral costs. And here's the magic word, guaranteed. Your acceptance is guaranteed as long as you fit the age requirements. So how do they do that? How can it be guaranteed? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. They get rid of all the usual hurdles. There's no medical exam to have to go to, and the biggest one, there are absolutely no health questions. They just skip that part entirely. And look, the whole point here is incredibly practical. It's all about making sure your family gets a check quickly after you're gone. That cash can help them cover the funeral, pay off any final medical bills, all those immediate expenses without them having to worry or use their own money. Okay, now this next part is really, really important. It's where a lot of people get confused. You hear no exam, and you might think all of these policies are the same. But trust me, they are not, and understanding this difference is key. So let's look at the two main types of no exam policies. On the left, you have simplified issue. It also has no medical exam, but, and this is a big but, it does ask you some health questions. If you're in okay health, this is usually cheaper. But guaranteed issue, on the right, asks zero health questions. None. That's why it's the go-to for people with more serious health concerns, and also why the premiums are a bit higher. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Other policies might make the gate a little easier to get through, but guaranteed issue, well, it just removes the medical gate entirely. It's a wide open door for people who might not have any other options. All right, so that brings us to the most misunderstood part of these policies. You might have heard of it. It's the waiting period. In the insurance world, they call it the graded benefit. Let's pull back the curtain and see exactly what that means. First off, let me be super clear. This is not a trick. It's not some fine print designed to cheat you. It's simply how the insurance company can afford to take on the risk of insuring someone without asking a single thing about their health. It's the trade-off for that guarantee. So here's how it usually works, over a 2-year period. Right from day one, if death is from an accident, your family gets the full payout, no questions asked. Now, if death is from natural causes, an illness, during those first 2 years, your family gets back all the premiums you paid, plus some interest, usually around 10%. Then, once you're past that 2-year mark, the full benefit is paid out for death from any covered reason. So, with all these unique features in mind, the guarantee, the waiting period, no health questions, who is this actually for? Let's talk about who is the perfect fit for this kind of policy. This could be the perfect solution if you've already been turned down for other insurance, or if you have some serious health conditions and you just know you won't get approved elsewhere. For some people, it's not even about health. They just want the absolute simplest, fastest application you can get with no holdups. And it's really important to keep the purpose in mind. We're not talking about million-dollar policies to replace your income. We're usually talking about smaller amounts, somewhere in that $5,000 to $25,000 range. The goal is to cover those final bills without the monthly payment being a burden. And this, right here, this really gets to the core of it. For the people who really need this, the choice isn't, should I get this or something cheaper? The real choice is, should I get this or have no coverage at all? That's the perspective you have to have. So, let's wrap this all up by looking at the fundamental decision you're making. It really boils down to a very clear trade-off. So, here's the deal. In the what you get column, you have the absolute certainty of being approved. You get the peace of mind that comes with that. And you get a super simple, fast process. Now, in the what you give up column, well, you're giving up the cheaper premiums, you're giving up that full day one coverage for natural death, and you're giving up the option to get a really large amount of coverage. And that really leads us to the final question, the one that only you can answer for yourself or your family. Is having that guarantee, knowing you have a policy locked in no matter what, worth those trade-offs of the waiting period and the higher cost? Understanding that balance is truly the key to making the right call.